Hello, viewers. This is a viewer request from Peacock, I believe, to do a reading on what was going through Donald Trump's mind during George Bush's funeral today. So many wonderful and elegant things that were said, and funny things, and just beautiful things. It really stood out, the stark contrast between who Bush was as president, how he behaved, versus how Trump is behaving. There was such a dichotomy there in what was spoken, even though, you know, they had said no negative words will be said about, you know, Trump at this funeral service. Nothing needed to be said about Trump because it was all said in what was not said about Bush and who Bush, you know, what Bush stood for, and was just really an interesting dichotomy. So to do this reading, first I'm going to start with the Acacia Cards. And what I've done, I laid out Acacia Cards first, of what was going through Bush's mind, and what's come to me as I laid these cards out. And sorry, I'm getting rid of cat fur on the table. As I laid these cards out, it jumped out at me that this is what was said about Bush, but this is kind of what Trump was hearing, I guess is the best way to put it. So the first card is called the King of Forces. The King of Forces is out in nature, which, you know, President Bush loved nature, loved being out in nature, and he's very calm and centered. He feels the forces of energy around him. There's this beautiful nebula in the sky. There's these animals which should be enemies, but all being calm around him because he's centered and calm. And that was kind of the effect that Bush had on people. It was like, you know, even when there was chaos going on, if he stayed centered and calm, everyone was calm around him. I really felt that today in the messages that were delivered. And the message for us is to, when we don't feel centered and calm, is to get out in nature and find our center and, you know, feel the energy from the earth calming us. The second card is called Adsum. And Adsum, it's from Latin. It means, ad means to, and sum means I am. So Adsum means to I am. Adsum, this card, there's an angel here and there's translucent people here on the card, kind of showing people in spirit who are there to help us. And this woman who is sitting and holding a book, she's kind of looking this way as if she's distracted, either by a thought or a feeling, or something has distracted her from what she was reading. There's also this man behind her who is in the physical world, and bringing more books, more wisdom, more knowledge. Books represent, obviously, wisdom and knowledge. But there's all these spirits, you know, like grandmother and I don't know, distant relatives or friends, angels, all the energy that's there. This card affirms the strength and focus on the present. When you get distracted, it's about staying in the present. And it also declares arrival at our goals. Adsum is like, it's a word that used to be used in answer to a roll call. It means I am present. It means I arrive, and it means I attend. So it declares, when we are arriving at our goals, that Spirit is always with us, helping us, working together with us, and that we can always rely on that Spirit to help us through, difficult times. And interesting that came up, during a funeral service, that this card would come up, that we draw strength and energy to get through difficult times from our loved ones and spirit guides. The next card is the One of Roses, and it's called Commitment. And commitment, I'm just going to turn this up because I can't tell if I'm getting the glare off this. Commitment, there's a contract here. It actually says contract on it. There's a contract. There's a beautiful, lamp on the table. There's rose petals around the contract. And the contract is surrounded by rose petals because it's about coming from a place of love. The roses symbolizing love. There's a red rose here symbolizing, deep, true passion, and there's looks more like a white rose here, symbolizing purity and clarity. And commitment really, I'll just turn that back down because it looks like you can see it better when I hold it down. Commitment, it's about honoring yourself, and if you honor yourself, then others will honor you also. It's also about a valuable union, And I actually looked up, after I pulled this card, I looked up the different meanings of the word commitment, because so many started jumping to my mind. Of course, some of the words that jumped to my mind were there, but other words I hadn't thought about came up. So commitment. It's about dedication, devotion, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, responsibility, obligation, duty, liability, engagement, and arrangement. So interesting. Fidelity is one meaning of commitment. I believe President Bush had a boat called Fidelity that came up in the service today. Someone mentioned today his boat named Fidelity. But obviously, what came up today was his dedication to his country, to his family, to his friends, his loyalty to all of the above. His devotion, his allegiance, his faithfulness, obviously his fidelity, responsibility. If things went wrong, it was brought up many times today that President Bush, when things went right, he was applauding everyone else. When things went wrong, he shouldered the responsibilities himself. He took all the blame on himself. And his strong sense of duty. The last card that came up, which I feel is where it was funny because I just started laying the cards and it just happened to lay out this way. This is where I feel Trump was today. It's called Views of the Ego. And this card, I believe, came up in the Akashic reading I did on Trump a few weeks ago. And it's about, here's this man who's obviously well off and being groomed and dressed, and he's looking at himself in the mirror. And the only one, that he sees in the mirror is himself. None of these other people that are around him appear in the mirror. And it's about being tied up, in the ego. It's about other people when they're surrounding someone who is caught up only in his own ego. that they need to leave. They need to leave the room and get away from this person, because this person is very unlikely to change. You know, this is the way he sees himself and sees the world. You know, the world is all about him. He's very unlikely to change. You know, although we all have free will, this person is stuck and very unlikely to change. They are not someone who is going to give out things that commitment showed in the last card. They're not going to give out loyalty or support. They're not going to shoulder responsibility. You know, they're not going to be supportive of you when you're going through things, because they're centered on themselves. So the best way to deal with someone who is like this is to get away from them and look in your own mirror. You know, look in your own mirror and look at your own friends, and not get absorbed into this energy of this person. And then on the bottom of the deck is Archangel Raphael. And Archangel Raphael, you know, he's coming on a path with this beautiful light in his palm that he's presenting. And Raphael is about families. He's about healing and miracles and blessed journeys. And I think as President Bush is transitioning to the other side, and as his family that remains here on the earth plane, you know, he's on his blessed journey. They're going through a time of healing through family and friends and support. So very interesting that this angel should come up in this. I also want to look at the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I just wanted to pull first because I thought the clearest answer would probably come from the Acacia Cards. Just want to look also through regular tarot deck. What was Trump thinking today during the service for President Bush? What was going through his mind? Heartbreaking. Wow, the Page of Cups, it seems as if he was thinking about himself when he was a younger man, and the environment, those that have left him, that haven't been loyal to him. He's thinking about the battles he's done. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pause for a minute. I've got a minor kitty scuffle going on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, it seems like he was thinking about himself when he was a younger man. And how full his cups were when he was younger. Right off the bat, you know, he had everything, and how everyone's leaving, how everyone's abandoning him. And the foundation, the winning at all costs, and those that he has, you know, offended in the process, in the recent past. Yeah, I feel like they're trying to suppress him. They're trying to quiet him down. They're trying to suppress him, and it's, you know, he's in a prison of his own making, so to speak. Yeah, he's, yeah, in the bed he made. Crowning the reading is the Empress. Pregnant with a lot of possibilities. Although this card a lot of times comes up as Mother Russia, I think in this reading, if I feel like he was thinking about all the possibilities of things, you know, that he could do, and in the near future, an offer or proposal, end of a cycle. I feel like it's based on secrets that are coming out. The King of Pentacles, you know, where this may represent where Trump sees himself in his youth as a young boy. This is how he would like to see himself today, sitting on all his money, and a lot of information that's coming out about his money. Yeah, so I think he's worried about his money. And he's worried about also indictments and subpoenas, all the things that are coming out, all the subpoenas that have been requested. And we have new beginnings and new information coming, though, a new plan. And, you know, this is the Thief card. I almost feel like he's going to try to get away, that he's trying to figure out, how do I get away from all this? How do I get away? I don't want to be here anymore. We'll save that for another reading, but I think in general, he probably flashed back a little bit to his childhood and how he had everything, and oh, now I might be losing it all, and it's breaking his heart. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, please click the like button, and thank you to Ree for the viewer's request. That was an interesting one. Hopefully you guys will stick around to see the last part of it, as well as enjoyed the first part of it. I love looking at the Acacia cards. Anyway, click like and subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. Thanks again for watching. Bye.